Click the bell icon to get latest videos from Ekeeda.
Hello friends, in the previous session we studied about the first two sterilization methods. Those were boiling and chlorination. In chlorination we did three different methods using three different types of chlorine. But one thing was common between them, and that was nascent oxygen. So after all the reactions that happened, we got nascent oxygen which went and combined with the germs, oxidized the germs, and which help us to get rid of them. Let us see the next methods in this session. The first sterilization method that we are going to see today is ozonization. So what is ozonization? It's an effective method of sterilization of water. Ozone is O3, is unstable, and it decomposes into molecular oxygen O2 and nascent oxygen O. We always know that the most stable form of oxygen is its molecular form, that is O2. O2 is the most stable form of it, but it also has some unstable forms. For example, O3, that is ozone, and single O, which is nascent oxygen. The single O, nascent oxygen, is the most unstable form of oxygen, and that is the reason why the nascent oxygen hunts for something to get combined with it. So you will never find nascent oxygen stable or alone. They will always be reactive and they will react with something. Let us see the reactions here. We have O3, which is ozone. This ozone disintegrates into O2, which is oxygen, plus nascent oxygen O. The nascent oxygen does produce a very strong effect for killing all the germs and bacteria, because this nascent oxygen will go and mix with the germs and bacteria. Let us first see the entire process of ozonization. Ozonization takes place in this tank. So this impure water gets into the tank through this inlet. Now we can see that this entire tank has nothing but a gravel bed. What is a gravel bed? It is nothing but a perforated partition. So for example, this is my tank. On this part, there will be stones and gravels. So the water which comes through the tank, through the inlet, so the water which comes inside has to pass through this perforated partition of the gravel bed, and it will come down. So once the water comes down, we can see the ozone gas, the O3, gushes in. This gushes in through this inlet. There is a pump over here. There will be a pump over here which pushes the ozone gas inside. This ozone gas and this impure water gets mixed and the reaction takes place. This ozone will disintegrate into O2 and O. The nascent oxygen will mix with all the impurities which are present in the impure water, and then it will form gaseous solvents. These gaseous solvents can go out in the volatile format over here. So all the unwanted gases are gone out through this outlet, and whatever remains over here is nothing but my sterilized or pure water. This is the entire process of ozonization which takes place in the tank. In ozonization, water is allowed to percolate through a tar having perforated partition. Ozone is allowed to enter from the bottom, which kills the germs when they come in contact with water. And how will it do it? It will do it with the help of nascent oxygen, which is formed due to disintegration of ozone. Sterilized water is collected at the bottom of the tank. So this is how the entire ozonization takes place. It is one of the most important methods for sterilization of water. Now let us see the advantages of ozonization over all the other sterilization methods. The first one is ozone acts as not only a sterilizing agent but also as a bleaching, decolorizing and deodoring agent. So now what does it do? It not only cleanses the water but also makes sure that the odor creating germs go out in the form of gaseous air. So the impure air or the gases which go out, that makes sure that the water which is remaining is odorless. Also, it is very important to make the water colorless. If we think about potable water or sterilized water, we do not think about any color related to it. Water has to be transparent and pure. It should not have any color or any muddiness or turbidity in it. So ozonization is a process which helps to get rid of the color as well. The other advantage is it improves the taste of water, so it makes us more helpful for potable water. The third is, in excess it is not harmful since it is unstable and decomposes into oxygen. So if you put in a lot of ozone, you will get a lot of oxygen because the nascent oxygen will always go away. That was not the case with chlorination. That is not the case with boiling. If you boil the water excess, the entire water will evaporate and go away. If you put excess of chlorine in it, it is not potable. But ozonization is a process that by chance or by mistake, if excess of ozone is added to water, it will not lead to any deterioration of the water. The next method of sterilization is aeration. The process of spraying water in the form of fine droplets into the atmosphere is known as aeration. It is one of the most modern methods of purification of water for town supply. In this method, water is forced under pressure through a perforated pipe. As water sprays into air, it comes in intimate contact with the oxygen of air and is exposed to the ultraviolet rays of the sun. This kills the bacteria of the oxygen, oxidizes organic matter present in the water. It removes the color and the odor also. This is one of the most simplest method. You are exposing water to oxygen and to sunlight. That is all. That is the logic of this method. So when water is there, it is sprayed in the air. So when it is sprayed in the air, we make sure that it is in very small quantity, because if large quantity of water is exposed to air and sun, nothing will happen to it. But very small quantity of water is sprayed in the air through a lot of pressure, then that small quantity of water will get purified due to the presence of oxygen and sunlight in it. The pure water is collected in a shallow tank placed below. It should be noted that as the exposure time is too short, the desirable effect may not be obtained. Natural radiation takes place in streams and rivers when the water flows slowly in its bed or when it falls from a certain height. Let us exactly see the process of it. So over here I have a diagram of aeration. So what is exactly happening over here? I have water which is impure in the tank. Pressure is applied to this water and this water is pressurized to go up. This is nothing but atmosphere at the top. So through these sprays, the water is exposed to two things, oxygen and sunlight. And then this water is then collected over here. So the impure water will go up, it will come down, and it is purified water will come out through this outlet. This is one of the most simplest methods, and it is one of the most cheapest methods, because over here we do not need a substance, we do not need ozone, we do not need chlorine, or we do not need the heat and energy for boiling. We just need small pressure pumps. These pressure pumps will not do anything but pressurize the water to go up to the atmosphere. The water will come in contact with the atmosphere. What is atmosphere over here for us? Oxygen and sunlight, and that will help us to purify the water. This can be done for large amount of water, and that is the reason why it can be performed by municipalities or governments for purification of the water of the entire town. The fifth method of sterilization water is known as through UV rays. UV rays are nothing but ultraviolet rays. So the invisible ultraviolet rays are very effective in killing all types of bacteria. This method is widely used for disinfection of swimming pool water because it does not require any chemical to be mixed with water. In this method, ultraviolet rays from mercury lamps enclosed in a quartz globe are simply focused on flowing water. However, this method is very costly and cannot be used for municipal water supply. This method is nothing but we find a source which emits UV radiations. These UV radiations are then focused into the water. Water has many types of bacteria, algae, suspended or colloidal impurities. All these impurities can be killed through UV rays. All kinds of bacteria and microorganisms are surely killed by UV rays. So what do we have to do? We have to place the source emitting UV rays through the water and focus it on the water and make sure that all the germs are killed. But this activity is extremely expensive and it is not practiced a lot. The last sterilization method is removal of algae. Algae is nothing but a biological impurity of water. It is very important to remove all the biological impurities of water because they are extremely harmful if a person tries to drink it. There are many kinds of bacteria and algae which are not suitable for human body and which try to produce certain diseases in human body. So let us see this method. Removal of algae. It is one of the most important processes. Algae comes under biological waste and it is very important to get rid of it to make the water pure and potable. Chemical solutions are added into water to kill algae, also prevent further growth of it. So how do we do it? We make solutions, chemical solutions, and these chemical solutions are extremely harmful for algae. But these chemical solutions won't be harmful for a human body or living organisms. And these are sprayed into water or mixed with water which needs purification. This helps two things. It will kill all the algae which is already present in the water, and it will make sure that the algae doesn't reproduce itself or the growth of algae doesn't start all over again. So in this video we studied 4 methods of sterilization of water. Those were ozonization, aeration by using ultraviolet rays, and removal of algae. All these 4 methods were extremely important. Thank you so much for watching this video. Stay tuned to Ekeeda and subscribe to Ekeeda.